Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're diving into something pretty mind-blowing, the world of AI and video segmentation.
Oh, yeah.
You know, have you ever thought about how, like, self-driving cars see the road,
Right.
or how those AR filters can, like, put a hat on your head?
Yeah,
That's video segmentation in action,
absolutely.
basically identifying and separating all the different objects in a video.
It's really complex.
Yeah, it's way harder than it
Oh,
sounds.
for sure.
Still image, that's
Yeah.
one thing, but video adds like a whole other level of complexity.
Yeah.
You have objects moving, they're getting hidden behind each other, and even like their appearance can change with the lighting and the camera angle.
Right. It's like solving a puzzle where the pieces keep like moving around.
Exactly.
But luckily, there's this new model called SAM 2 that's making huge waves.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And we've got the research paper and all the extra materials right here, ready to break down what makes SAM 2 so special.
Yeah, SAM 2 is taking that segment anything concept and applying it to video.
It's causing like a huge buzz in the AI community for a few reasons.
Okay, so why is SAM 2 such a big deal? What are those reasons?
Well, firstly, it's promptable segmentation.
Okay.
You can kind of have a conversation with the AI.
Oh, wow.
You can say, hey, focus on that moving object, or like refine the outline of this shape.
So you're not just watching the AI work, but you're like working with it.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Yeah, you're like giving it a set of eyes and telling it where to look.
Wow. Okay, but how does it deal with everything changing so much from frame to frame?
Well, that's where the second key aspect comes in memory.
Right.
SAM 2 can actually remember objects and how they move across frames.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of like, if a character in a movie goes behind a wall, you can still picture them
Right.
and kind of know where they'll come out.
Yeah.
SAM 2 can do something similar.
So it's like SAM 2 is developing object permanence,
Right.
which is a concept even babies take a while to figure out.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. What else makes it stand out?
The data, it was trained on a new data set called SAV.
Okay.
Imagine like a gigantic library of videos, over 50,000 clips, and get this, over 642,000 annotated object masks.
Whoa, that's a lot of data.
It's huge, like 53 times larger than the previous biggest data set for video segmentation.
Wow. Okay, so you mentioned earlier that segmenting videos is really tricky.
Oh, yeah.
Can you explain why the traditional methods were so difficult and time-consuming?
So before SAM 2, if you wanted to segment a video, you'd have to annotate like every single frame by hand.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine outlining every object and every frame of a movie.
Oh, that sounds so tedious.
It was like a Herculean task, especially for big projects.
Right.
Pretty much impossible.
So how did SAM 2 like crack the code and make this whole process easier?
Well, it comes down to its architecture.
Okay.
Think of it like a super high-tech assembly line, different parts all working together.
Okay, I like that.
First, you have the image encoder that analyzes each frame and picks out the important visual features.
Okay.
Then comes the memory attention module.
All right, tell me about this memory attention module. This sounds interesting.
Okay, so this module acts like the model's short-term memory,
Okay.
keeping track of all the objects it's seen so far, like their shapes, their colors, the way they move.
Okay.
So even if like a car turns a corner and gets hidden for a second,
Yeah.
the memory attention module remembers what the car looks like, and it can kind of predict where it might come out again.
So it's not just looking at each frame individually, it's using the context from the previous frames
Exactly.
to make better decisions.
Yeah, that's what makes it so much better than the older model.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And what about the instructions we give it? How does SAM 2 know what we want it to focus on?
So that's the job of the prompt encoder.
Okay.
Whether you click on an object, draw a box around it, or create a rough mask, the prompt encoder takes your input and translates it into a language that SAM 2 understands.
So it's like giving the model clear instructions.
Exactly.
Okay, and then how does it actually make those segmentation masks once it has the instructions?
Right. So that's where the mask decoder comes in.
Okay.
The final part of the assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
It takes all of that information from the other parts, the visual features, the memory or instructions,
Right.
and it uses it to create those precise masks that outline each object.
It's amazing how it all comes together.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Is there anything particularly clever about how this whole system is structured?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. One of the coolest things is that it uses a streaming architecture,
Oh,
meaning it processes video frames one by one as they come in.
Oh, wow.
Instead of having to analyze the whole video at once,
So that makes it way more efficient.
Oh yeah, especially for real-time stuff
Right.
where you can't wait for the whole video to be processed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that brings us back to that SAV dataset we talked about.
Right.
Creating a dataset that massive and diverse must have been a huge challenge.
Yeah, I mean, 642,000 object masks, that's just mind-blowing.
Oh, it's
How
incredible.
did they even do it?
So they use this really innovative approach called model in the loop,
Okay.
where human annotators work together with these early versions of SAM2.
So it's like a partnership, humans and AI working together.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
And what's even cooler is a lot of the data set was annotated automatically.
What?
They prompted SAM2 with a grid of points and let it figure it out.
Wait, so it was able to segment objects it had never even seen before?
Exactly.
That's like zero-shot learning, right?
Yeah, heard it.
The ability to apply knowledge to totally new situations?
That's one of the most exciting things about SAM2, its zero-shot performance.
So what does that mean for like real-world applications? Where could we see that making a difference?
Well, imagine using SAM2 to segment medical instruments in surgery videos,
Okay.
or identifying objects in like hours of surveillance footage.
Right.
Even though it wasn't specifically trained on those things, its zero-shot capabilities allow it to adapt and perform really well.
That's incredible. I can already see how this could be revolutionary for so many fields. What other real-world scenarios do you think SAM2 could excel in? I mean, we're just scratching the surface here, right?
Oh, absolutely. Now that we've got a good grasp on how SAM2 works and what makes it so special, let's dive into some of those potential applications and see how this technology could really be transformative.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
So we know SAM2 is awesome at segmenting videos, but what does that actually mean for us out here in the real world? Where could we see this tech really making a difference?
Well, think about augmented reality for a minute.
Okay.
Like imagine putting on those AR glasses and seeing virtual objects blended perfectly into your real surroundings, all thanks to SAM2.
So instead of those filters that sometimes look a bit off,
Yeah.
SAM2 could make them look totally realistic, like they're actually part of the scene.
Exactly. Like think about gaming education, even shopping.
Wow.
You could try on clothes, virtually see how they fit,
Right.
walk through a museum that feels like the real deal,
Wow.
or fight virtual creatures hiding behind your couch.
That's amazing. Okay, but how does this translate to something like robotics?
Well, robots struggle to handle objects in a world that's always changing, right? But with SAM2, they could see and understand everything much better,
Okay.
like identify and grab objects more easily, navigate tricky spaces, even do those delicate tasks that need real precision.
So we're talking robots that don't just move around,
Yeah.
but they get what they're seeing and can interact intelligently.
Exactly. That could be huge for manufacturing, logistics, healthcare,
Right.
anywhere robots can automate stuff and make things more efficient.
It's like giving them a whole new level of understanding.
Yeah, taking them from clunky machines to intelligent helpers.
I like that. What about video editing? How could SAM2 change things there?
Imagine isolating and changing parts of a video super easily.
Okay.
Like changing a car's color, removing something you don't want, or even swapping out the whole background.
Okay.
With SAM2, you could do all that with a couple of clicks.
So instead of spending hours masking stuff, frame-by-frame editors could save tons of time
Exactly.
and be more creative and focus on telling the story.
That's it. It could totally change how video editing works.
Wow, this tech has so much potential, we've barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, for sure.
But before we go too far into the future, let's talk about something crucial: efficiency and speed.
Right.
It's great to have this super smart model, but if it takes forever to process a video clip, it's not practical.
You're absolutely right. But the good news is the SAM2 developers were thinking about that.
Okay.
One of the big achievements is its real-time performance on a single GPU.
For those of us who aren't tech wizards, can you remind us what a GPU is and why this real-time thing is such a big deal?
Sure, a GPU, or graphics processing unit, is a specialized electronic circuit that's designed to manipulate and alter memory really quickly.
Okay.
This helps speed up the creation of images that get displayed on a screen.
Okay.
They're super efficient for graphics and image processing. Way better than general-purpose CPUs for tasks that involve processing lots of data in parallel.
Thanks for explaining this. So SAM2 running in real time on a single GPU means it's not just stuck in a lab.
Right.
Developers can actually use it to build real-world applications.
Exactly. It opens up a ton of possibilities for interactive stuff that just wasn't possible before.
Wow. So for the non-developers out there, can you give us a concrete example of what this speed boost means in real life?
Sure, imagine you're editing a video and you need to select a moving object like a basketball player.
Okay.
In the past, you'd have to manually select them in every frame, which could take hours.
Ugh, yeah.
But with SAM 2, you could potentially do it instantly.
Wow.
Just click once, and the AI tracks them through the whole clip.
That's a game changer for sure. And it makes editing way more fun.
Totally. It's not just about speed, it's about making these tools easier and more fun for everyone.
So SAM 2 isn't just about accuracy, it's about this whole new level of efficiency and interactivity. It's exciting to think about the potential. We've talked about AR, VR, robotics, video editing.
Right.
I'm sure there are tons of other uses we haven't even thought of yet.
I totally agree. SAM 2 shows how far we've come in AI,
Yeah.
and we're just getting started.
It's both exciting and a little daunting to think about all the possibilities and the challenges.
For sure.
But for now, let's focus on the positive.
Okay.
What's one key takeaway you'd want listeners to remember from this deep dive into SAM 2?
I think the main thing is that SAM 2 shows how human creativity and collaboration can lead to amazing breakthroughs.
Okay.
It proves we can solve tough problems and build tools that can change the world.
That's a great point. It's a reminder that even though AI is powerful, we're the ones in control.
Right.
And I'm really excited to see what we do with it.
Me too. It's an incredible time to be alive and see all this tech evolving so fast.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with a question. How do you think SAM 2 will change how EA interact with technology in the future?
Oh,
Will it be so seamless we don't even realize it's there?
right.
Or will it bring up new problems we have to deal with?
That's a great question, and one we should definitely think about as we go forward.
You know, it's funny, we talk about AI seeing,
Right.
but with SAM 2's memory, it feels like it's starting to understand the world too,
Yeah, that's a really sharp observation.
not just perceiving it.
Remember we talked about object permanence?
Yeah.
That's like a core concept for humans.
Right.
And the fact that SAM 2 shows something similar, well, it means it's going beyond just recognizing patterns.
Yeah,
It's getting into more complex thinking.
It's like we're blurring the lines between human and artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
That's both fascinating and kind of unsettling, don't you think?
I agree. It definitely makes us rethink what machines can do.
Right.
But I think it's important to approach this with curiosity, not fear.
Definitely AI is a tool.
Right.
It can be used for good or bad.
Exactly.
It's up to us to guide it and make sure it's used responsibly.
Absolutely.
But enough philosophy for now.
Okay.
What's one practical tip you'd give our listeners as they navigate this crazy world of AI?
I'd say the most important thing is to stay informed.
Go away?
Keep learning, read about the new stuff, ask questions, and be part of the conversation about the good and the bad of AI.
Okay.
The more we understand, the better we'll be at shaping its future.
I think that's great advice. Knowledge is power,
Mm-hmm.
especially with something as powerful as AI.
For sure.
And who knows, maybe some of our listeners will become the next AI innovators,
Yeah,
pushing the boundaries even further.
that would be awesome.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to come back up from this deep dive into SAM 2.
Okay.
We've covered a lot today, from the technical stuff to the big picture impact.
It's been a really interesting journey.
Definitely.
I hope everyone listening has enjoyed it as much as we have.
To our listeners, thank you for joining us on this exploration of cutting-edge AI.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We hope you've learned something new
For sure.
and are as excited as we are about the future of this incredible technology.
Remember, the world of AI is always changing, so stay curious, keep learning, and you never know what amazing discoveries are just around the corner.
Until next time, keep diving deep.